Thanksgiving, and here is me again, Alex, your sassy dispatcher, your sassy instructor, and a person who wants to change trucking for better. Well, I really hope that you guys enjoy your time off. I hope that you had time and blessings with your family, your kids, your loved ones. And here I am struggling on Friday after Thanksgiving. How the lies from brokers can become dispatchers' nightmares, brokers' nightmares, drivers' nightmares. So, let me tell you this, it's Friday today. I have been teaching classes all the time, and I have 3 steps for newbies. If you are new in trucking, first, don't ever trust brokers. Brokers are liars, and especially if it's around holidays. So here I am, me with my experience, right? Booking the load coming from Washington State, delivering today in South Dakota. I'm very responsible dispatcher. I verified few times with the broker, and look at this. Who is our broker? Wow, Circle Logistics. People were telling me, Alex, you were so rude to Circle Logistics on your TikTok video. They are trying to be nice. They have a lot of people. Well, we picked up on in Washington, right? First come, first serve. 24/7 needs appointment. New dispatchers. 24/7 doesn't mean that anytime you come there that it's going to be happen. Look at this. Needs appointment. You need to make sure you pay attention to details, right? In this case, I was covering for drive-in. No reefer. You need to make sure you have swing doors, right? And look at the delivery. We can deliver today, right? Day after Thanksgiving. Look at the time, from midnight till 1 p.m. So we have the phone number to Mr. Dave Olmos, right? We're supposed to deliver today. And what happened? Did I trust broker or did I call Dave when we were picking this up on Tuesday? Well, guys, I do not trust brokers. So I did that step as well. That guy told me that it's for sure going to be a person who is going to unload those trucks. And he gave me the window. He said, well, he's going to be there between 8 till 10 a.m. I guess what? My drivers are responsible. My carriers know that we have another load. We booked the load picking up today. We had to deadhead a little bit because from South Dakota, not much there. I found the perfect load. Picking up today till 10 p.m. Still delivering tomorrow to across Wisconsin, right? Perfectly. Did I give up? No. I still found the load from Wisconsin going to Arkansas, right? For Monday delivery. So if this would work out good as I planned, as I negotiated, right? My driver would have $6,800 in gross for this week, right? And his average would be still at 245. Remember, he was coming from West Coast. And Washington, Oregon, California, they were dead. I did my job. I did the extra step. I verify with that guy that somebody's gonna be there. And today, what's happening today? Well, nothing's happening. Well, I reach out to them. No one is there. We had another 3 trucks from Circle Logistics sitting there waiting to get unloaded. Well, the other guys are simply company drivers. They don't care. They went to truck stop. I told my other operator, please don't go anywhere. Let me try to reach out to somebody. Well, I reach out to Circle Logistics. I'm talking to 4 different guys, after hours, whatever. I think 2 of them somewhere sitting in Colombia, which I don't care. But what I care about, that every time they give me a different update. First they said, well, no, it was only one shipment. I'm like, no, guys, you have another 3 trucks sitting there with the same loads. And actually, at least I negotiated better because other guys kind of came from Washington for free, like $1.40. So they already barely making it. They need to add money to run this load. Okay, hour goes by, 2 hours goes by. Wow, another person somewhere from, as I said, Colombia, South America outsourcing. Well, good morning. We are still communicated with the receiver, but unfortunately, it looks like it will be closed for today and the load will be delivered Monday. We are sorry for the convenience this may cause. If we confirm that the receiver will open and receive you, you will be notified immediately. Wow, really? You sorry for inconvenience? Today is Friday, one day. Tomorrow is Saturday. Then we have Sunday. You sorry for inconvenience? For my driver who did drive from Washington, picked up your load on time. You broker who simply lied to me. And of course, you know what her email says? Well, happy Thanksgiving. I will be back on Monday. So hopefully she's sitting there enjoying her time, glass of wine or whatever she does. So she simply lied to me. She did not double check. But the biggest mistake that I still trusted the receiver because that guy was so honestly telling me we do this all the time, the guy will show up. And here's the problem, guys. For new dispatchers, do not ever buy into this. I feel like I failed. I did all the extra things. I did what I had to do. Unfortunately, I cannot control other people. Unfortunately, I cannot really change anything. If I could, I would drive there and unload my owner operator. So finally, we just got an answer from the customers. They will not be open until Monday. Layovers are approved. Since this is not your fault, or really, or thanks that you approving my layover. And again, from our side, we really apologize for situation. I don't need your apology. So here's a question. I did ask this guy, since this is holiday weekend, we're not talking layover till tomorrow. We're talking Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What is going to be layover amount? And he told me, well, unfortunately, Circle Logistics is not able to give you more than $150. And there where I get pissed. $150 per day just because broker did not do their job, just because receiver or shipper lies to you. What is $150? If you have a company driver, wow, you pay more per day. What is $150 to sit somewhere in the middle of nowhere? We in South Dakota. But here's another thing. I had 2 loads pre-booked. One was a Fitzmark, one was a Bay and Bay. Those brokers I work all the time with. So Fitzmark I took care of. Mike, he's a good guy. We work a lot. And I just honestly told him we were sitting till 12 because I was still hoping for miracle. But this load has to get picked up because he has delivery tomorrow. He called me a few times. He was patient. He was trying to be on the same page with me. He was actually saying, Alex, I understand. In this case, as a dispatcher, what steps do you need to do? Well, you can wait so long, but you have to be realistic. You cannot keep lying. Oh, my driver is empty. He's going to be there. Don't cancel my load. Well, guys, still, somehow we have kind of little loyalty left, right? That professionalism, respect to each other. This is a holiday for him as well. This is his customer. This guy did not do anything wrong. I did not do anything wrong. Broker is the one, previous broker, who kind of lied to us, right? And who simply doesn't really care. So he was okay. The problem was that now I still have to cancel Bay and Bay load for tomorrow, which was picking up from Wisconsin, going to Arkansas, was delivery on Monday. Well, this is the second one. In this case, I have to do the same. I have to call, I have to be honest, and I have to send them proof of this chain of emails, rate confirmation from Circ Logistics, because I am not making up stories, right? Brokers always says, oh, dispatchers make up stories. Well, no, we don't. And a lot of times we have to make up story because you cancel and load on me last minute just because my driver still did not accept tracking 24 hours before 48 hours. Well, he has 3 4 trackings from previous loads which you guys did not cancel. So yeah, sometimes we don't tell you the whole truth, but compared to the lies the brokers tell us, let's start with one. Usually appointments are not made. Usually, transit is calculated by some people sitting there and looking at the Google Maps. Remember, we are flying, we are swimming when transit is too tight. But when transit is too long because they are delivering to strict facilities, oh, well, then they're going to start talking about hours of sleeping. Again, dear brokers, you watch me, go and learn your stuff. Hours of service, right? So you know how to lie there. Secondary, when something like this happen, well, you simply push us to layover. Did any of you pick up the phone today? Did you go to the extra extent? I found 4 phones. I asked my driver to go around the building, found another phone, trying to call, texting, simply begging people to be humans. Is this my job? Well, it is kind of my job because I am that pro dispatcher who does extra step. So new dispatchers usually get intimidated. New dispatchers get so disappointed because what's happening. In this case, my owner, he's respecting me. He's been with me for the long time. He knows. He knows that this really doesn't happen. And that's why I went live today. Guys, this is the first time my truck got stuck in the last 4 years. I usually don't go to shippers, receivers after Thanksgiving, Christmas, or if I do, I verify a million times, which I did again. And that's why it's so disappointing. But usually dispatchers get screamed from the drivers. Usually the brokers are gonna threaten you, well, we're gonna put you on a blacklist. You are canceling load for me on Friday. You are canceling load for me on Saturday on a holiday week, right? So that's why make sure you do those steps. Make sure you forward the emails and do not wait till the last minute because unfortunately, miracles do not happen. I'll be back to you guys and I will be answering questions because today this is a topic how to deal with this nonsense. And now we need to make sure that we get compensated not $150 per day, but more, at least 250 per day because my driver has to sit there till Monday and it's not fair. So let's look again. Remember, we do have Black Friday sales, and I will be back to answer any questions. Fanny Anderson, how are you? How this market is treating you, huh? You do have experience, but probably you want to give up at some of those days, right? So look at me. I should be decorating my Christmas tree. Now I'm spending hours and hours trying to unload my driver. So here's the thing. Do dispatchers work on the holidays? Well, we hope that we don't have to work on holidays. But when things like this happen, unfortunately, you have to be able to take care of the situation. You need to make sure you do what has to be done. So the good dispatcher always has a staff on his phone. We always see what's going on, and we need to make sure that we solve the problem. Is it going to be fair for my driver not to get really compensated for what it was? Well, it's not fair. But again, who said that trucking is a fair industry? Who said the trucking treats truck drivers fair? I did not say that. You know that this is a reality of trucking. But let's see. We have human people. Let's see if any questions. And guys, again, if you're watching me, please write down the questions so we can talk about it. If something you want to find out, how do I manage it? What is my advice as a pro dispatcher, right? So, have you ever had a shipper request the load back after the driver has left the shipping facility? We had a 925 partial we loaded. Have you ever had a shipper request a load back after the driver left the shipping facility? Well, you probably talking maybe they put their own product. Maybe if this load were supposed to go somewhere and they are not ready, yeah, sometimes it does happen. So you consider this as a second load. So you got loaded. Let's say you drove 100 miles, right? You had to go back because maybe expiration date, maybe their own product, or maybe simply this shipper was shipping something, right? And the receiver are not going to be open on Friday and you already got loaded and they like don't want to have cargo on your truck. Does it happen? Yes, it happens. Once it happened to me, we got loaded with chicken. We were supposed to go from Arkansas to Washington. The driver drove 250 miles already and they called us. And this load was going to Albertsons. I guess they were supposed to put some special air chicken, whatever, that special cut, and they put their own truck. In this case, what do you do? Well, this is a time. This added extra day for us because you go drive back 250 miles, we still have hours of service. We were going all the way to Washington. Albertson is very strict facility, but customer did reschedule that because they knew that they cannot bring their own product. So it was cheaper for them to have the truck back, put a good product and send us again. In this case, what do you do as a dispatcher? Well, when you really think about it, 250 miles. Let's say national average nowadays is what for reefers? Let's say 260. So are you only gonna charge 260 for that 250 miles, or what else has to be included? Well, yeah, I mean, 260, they're gonna say, well, you drive in 250 miles back, right? Then you add in, so we're talking about now 500 miles. Also, what else happening? We are adding extra day. So it's not just about miles. Now we add in extra day. That means that that day we're not moving profits. And usually, right now, even in this market, the drive end should make at least from 900 to 1100, right? And reefers should make from 1000 to 1500, right? Gross per day. Flatbed step decks, it depends on the season, but right now they are still between 1000 to 1500. So when you compensating me for 500 miles, which I have to still pay for the gas, the driver, I mean the diesel, driver, time, well, you still have to pay extra for me losing the day. And this is a nonsense in trucking. They're like, okay, the standards for trucking is $150. For reefers, it's the 250. But even 250 is not justifying somebody's mistake. And here is a problem in trucking. We always pay that mistake. We as a carriers. Why is it always our fault? Brokers lied? Still, who gets punished? Us as a carrier, us as a driver, us a dispatcher who now have to deal with these nightmares, right? Spending my holiday day with dealing with this nonsense, right? So why is it trucking so unfair? Well, because again, we go back to my mission, change trucking for better. And the only way we can change trucking for better if we're gonna get united, right? So we're gonna talk about this in a few seconds. So let's see. I think that he's also wrote that 3 hours down the road, the broker calls to tell the drivers to return to the shipper to offload the product. They shipped their own thing. Okay. So the broker said, we later found out it was a lie. Okay. So in your case, you already took the partial, right? So you had the load, then you took the partial because you were hoping that everything goes smooth. Now you return. What did you have to do with partial? So let's see this story. We negotiated 750 to return the load. That was 3 hours of backtracking. Seemed like a good deal at the time. However, think about this way. We added 6 hours of drive time and got paid less money. Yeah. So is it fair? And who was the broker? Who was the broker? And that's what's happening here all the time. Let's see who else is here. Oh, my favorite girl. I did not see you for a long time. How you doing? Life with Alex, best learning experience. Thank you, honey. You always the sweetest one. Okay. What else? Oh, I like this heavy duty viewer because at least he's asking questions. Guys, please make sure you ask questions if you have time, if you're not driving, if you are safe, right? Is it ever happened to you? Tell the broker it will cost more to return the freight than deliver it. Got paid $3 per mile to return it, and we still lost money. It's not always about the rate per mile. Again, it's not always for rate per mile. It's not always about miles. We still have transit. Transit calculates in days, not in miles, not in hours, right? We still going off track. We lose in relationship with next brokers because usually you already pre-book the load or you go into the area where you were hoping that there's a load. So this is a lot of involved, right? So trucking, logistics, dispatching, it can be so perfectly described in classes. I can sit here and tell you, well, that's how you build the business, right? Good, good. That's how you go, you post the truck. You can get so efficient with the load boards. You can learn all the details about the equipment, right? Translucent ceilings, swing doors, roll up doors, air ride, e tracks. What is micro tracking? What does it mean to check the crate? You can get so good with all the basics, right? You can know how to check the market, see the availability, right? Capacity, load to truck ratio, truck to load ratio. You can even learn all the shippers and receivers by just smack like, okay, I know I'm not gonna go there because this is McLean. I'm not gonna go because it's a Food Lions. Publix, stay away from Publix. Oh, CNS telling me that it's gonna take half hour to unload load. No, this is nonsense. I already know my stuff. So that data can sink into your head. You can know everything. You can pre-book the loads. You can plan. You can calculate if your driver is okay to pick up and deliver. Your driver can be on time. You do your stuff. But then we have all of these glitches. Are they glitches or this is just a kind of product of our own trucking industry? And it starts with drivers. It starts with the dispatchers. It starts with us not talking about this, not exposing these brokers, right? When I go on TikTok and I don't do it just for fun, I really want to tell the new dispatchers and seasoned dispatchers how important it is to ask those questions. Some people say, oh, you just do it because you have YouTube. You just do it because you have TikTok. No, guys, before I start doing all this, I am doing it every day. I'm a person who still dispatch trucks every day. And I see the difference between 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, difference between 3 months ago and now. Attitude of brokers simply sucks. They have no respect, they are rude, and their lies are affecting our profits, affecting our flow. And because of broker like that, now I hope that the Bay and Bay is not gonna put my carrier on the blacklist. So now I still have to do and make sure that it's not gonna happen. And going back to beginning of this, how are we gonna do it? Well, we're gonna forward the rate confirmation from Circle Logistics. We're gonna forward all those emails and we're gonna make sure that we do it when I have the load pickup tomorrow. Well, it has to be done today. You're not gonna wait for the last minute. You're not gonna wait for miracles. You're gonna do what has to be done in timely manner. Doesn't matter if you were lied to. You still have to do your duties. And duties of dispatchers, it's not only to post the truck, right? So look at this. You go, you post your trucks. Well, here you go. That's where we at. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Wow, what I'm gonna be dealing with this On Monday, look at this. I have only 132 loads. So now I need to make sure I even start looking for Monday. Because remember, my truck was already pre booked today to go to Wisconsin, Wisconsin going to Arkansas, and we even had a load on Monday. So actually, Monday has to be canceled ASAP, right? So I have to deal with this. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Another Circle Logistics. Seriously. Wow. Here you go. Wow. You can pick up on Monday from the same facility, right? And where are you going to go? You're going to go 44,000. Wow. This is a heavy one. We brought only 6,000 from Washington. And customer requires proactive heads up, detention time, and communicativeness from approval of any charges. You have to accept micro tracking. You have to check in as a Circle Logistics. Really? Okay, Circle Logistics. And you paying $2,800? You paying $2,800, $2 per mile from South Dakota to go with 44,000 on the weight? Do you think I ever gonna trust Circle Logistics again? I don't think so. But let's go back to reality. Okay, if ever happened to you in the broker cost, okay. Alex, billing, okay, let's see here. Alex, I am admin in billing with a broker. I understand that point to get compensated the correct rate, but what will be the correct way to work broker and carry in this situation? Well, let's simply go to operational cost, right? How much does it cost for me personally if that's my driver, company driver, to compensate my driver? Well, nowadays it's at least $200 per day, right? I am losing 3 days of profit because from today till Monday, I had two loads combining $3,300. So, what is, well, I'm not asking you to compensate $3,000, but I need at least $400 per day. So my driver can be paid and at least it's kind of balances out. Even if we're talking about $1,000 per day, it's $3,000, right? So is it fair? Well, it's not fair. I understand that brokers might be adding money from their own pocket, but again, whose fault is this? Who is scheduling freight? Well, broker. Who has to verify that they will be open? Broker. Who has all the contacts for shippers, receivers, all these tracking teams who call and drive our drivers crazy? Well, this is a broker's job. That's why they're third party PL. We are only carrier, and what do? We have to bring the freight from A to B. We have to show up in time. We have to make sure we have correct equipment, right? We need to make sure that as a dispatcher, I calculate the transit that my driver has enough hours of service to make the transit. Me as a dispatcher, if anything arises, breakdowns or something, I need to make sure I solve this problem. So you tell me, what do you think? What do you think? What is fair compensation? I mean, you in accounting, you see how much they billing, you see how much they making, you see this is not a regular situation. This is a holiday week, so this guy did not go to be with his family, right? So what is fair? What is fair? Please write it down for me. I really want to see that number because if you really think that $150 layover per day is fair, I will strongly disagree. Let's see. Same example from Circle Logistics. Okay. What else? And then 3 hours to return to the shipper. It turned into 9 hours of driving for 725 versus the original 3 hours of out of pocket for 925. Well, again, sorry, reality of trucking. That's why we need to make sure we talk, we expose, we share. And let's see who is else here. Hey, Alex, hi, how are you? Ryan, is that you? Is it you, Ryan? I hope it's you, Ryan. Okay. Yeah, Ryan next. Oh my God, Ryan. Did not see you for a long time. How's things going? We have to bring you back on the show. So here you go, guys. I want to start doing the real live shows, and I want to invite people from different backgrounds. My powerful girls, girls who are on the road. I would invite 3, 4 girls who dealing with trucking, driving the semi trucks. Please, let's share what are you actually dealing with. Stressful situation, unfairness, how some people, maybe you have a tips how to survive this nonsense. And as a female, we need to make sure we are safe on the road, we are safe on those truck stops. So please, I will be sending the email to all my previous students, but if you guys want to be part of this, you don't have to be my student, you don't have to, I mean, hopefully you my follower, right? So I will be reached. You guys can reach me all the time on my website. You can just write a message. You can reach me by my phone number 224-600-3200. Please just text me, because I really think to change this industry, we need to start talking about reality, everyday reality, right? If you are a dispatcher who's struggling with the new carriers, please reach out. If you are a driver who is in the middle changing profession, or maybe simply wants to give up, reach out. If you're a driver who is losing the company, let's tell the reality to people in USA what's going on. If you are somewhere outside of the country and you want to be part of this, well, reach out and we can talk about this, right? Because the power of social media, power of honesty is tremendous. We can change trucking for better. Okay, Ryan Nix. So, Ryan Nix, I'm calling on you. You cannot say no to Sassy Dispatch Girl. Remember? No, no, no. You cannot do that. Hi, Alex. How are you? Take it easy. Watch out on yourself. Well, I am easy. Just be I'm emotional just because I am honest and this is my personality. No, Vitali, thank you for your concern, but I am well. Um, Here is my current student. Okay, Tiara, how are you? See you next Saturday. Is it Tiara from when you have this type of problem with a broker, should we continue to work with them, or what should you suggest going forward? Well, in this case, probably no circle logistics for me for a while until I see improvement. But unfortunately, Tiara, big brokers do this all the time. So, can you really not to work with TQL? Can you really not to work with Circle Logistics? Can you really not to work with XPO? Can you not to work with a Scotland who is always lies? Can you stop working with all these mega brokers who simply know what's going on, who simply don't care? Unfortunately, reality is in this market, you cannot just stop working with them because they are mega brokers. If this is a small brokerage, then you get load once in 3 months, once in 6 months. Yes, you put them on a blacklist. And reality is harsh right now. So as much as we would like to say no to Circle Logistics from this point, no to TQL, no to CH Robinson, no to XPO, unfortunately, most of the carriers cannot afford this. And especially now when we barely have enough freight to move. In a perfect trucking industry, I would wish that would be the case here. Here's my magic one. Well, I'm not working with you because you guys not good broker. You don't do job well, but it's not. So for my new students, this is a reality. This is something you will need to manage every day. You still need to be positive about it, right? You still need to make sure that you prevent failure for the next brokers. So you have to be honest and you have to explain situation. You have to remember not to be naive and hope that miracles gonna happen. So we waited 3 hours, we reach out, we left text messages, all this going on, but I know that my broker, which has a load today, does not deserve this. So we made phone calls. Oh, look at this. TQL. What is the TQL gonna try to sell us on Friday? Dispatch.
Hi, a pharmacy job van in Cleveland, Tennessee for Monday is still available.
When in Cleveland, Tennessee? Well, it's still a little bit early. It's just Friday. But what do you have in Cleveland, Tennessee?
We have a load picking up there and then heading to Neosho, Missouri.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second because I was not ready. It's Friday. After holidays, how was your holidays?
That's pretty good. How was yours?
It's good. Dealing with brokers who lie about delivery. It's not you this time, not TQL, but usually guys do the same. Guys shows up and facility is closed, and then, oh, here, we're gonna give you $150 for layover for the next 3 days, right? But anyway, let's
holiday?
yeah, let's talk about your load. So picking up in Cleveland, going again. What is the zip code?
It's gonna be 64850.
64850, Neosho, Missouri. What time are we picking up in Cleveland?
It's gonna be first come first serve 7 to 2, and then delivering next day first come first serve 8 to 1.
What is a commodity?
It's only, let me give it a second. Only 15,000 pounds of like agricultural structures, so like feeders and water troughs, things like that.
Okay, palletized?
Yes.
Okay. And how much is TQL paying for this nowadays?
For this one, I believe the broker is going for $950.
Do you see the loaded miles? Cleveland, Tennessee, right?
Yes.
To Neosho, Missouri. How many miles do you see on your screen?
We see 650 over here.
So you see 650 miles, and you are paying how much?
The broker gets this one covered for $950 every time.
Every time your broker gets covered this for $950, divide by, I don't even have that head, so divide by 650. So your broker is covering this for $1.46?
I guess so.
How is it possible? Nobody can afford to drive for $1.46.
That's just what I see here.
So what is gonna be his best offer on this?
Well, as far as I mean, he's not here today, so, but as far as I know, it would be around that. What would you guys want for something like this? And maybe I can shoot it to him and see what he says.
Okay, I mean, let's just Cleveland, Tennessee, going to Neosho. Let's just even check under that, which is not accurate anyway, what we need. But even under that, the quick rate search shows that he should be around 1423, which puts $2 per mile. And this is minimum that it should be covered for. And this is the data for the last 15 days. For me to do it, because I'm not a desperate dispatcher, I need to be at least at 1850. It's 660 miles, guys.
What would you say your best would be?
1850.
1850?
Yes. It's a heavy load.
Yeah,
It's good.
Yeah, he doesn't even have that. 1,500.
So he so how much? So how much does he has in the load?
Not even close to 18.
So how much? What is his highest possible?
Well, I guess last case scenario we go to 11, but
11. So this is your worst case scenario 11. So why don't you start with 11? Why do you start with 950?
Okay, because if we shoot 11 off the bat, we're not making any money. Everyone likes to make money.
Well, so you want us to drive for $1.40, add extra 50 cents, so TQL can make $200 per load, $300. Do you think it's fair?
Okay, you just said it's 1,600.
It's 600. Okay, it's 650 miles. Operational cost in USA for semi truck right now is approximately $1.80, $1.90. So you giving $1.40. So driver needs to add 40 cents to break even. So he needs to add money to this load. So TQL can make $200 per load, $300 per load, $600 per load. So do you think it's fair?
$600 is not.
But do you think that it's fair that the carrier has to add money so you guys can make money? We have to actually.
Rate matrix on our end says 950. I'm sorry that you don't agree with that rate. You don't have to take this load. Have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you, TQL. And that's the reality of trucking. Well, even in this case, it's under $2. TQL still want to make what? She said it somewhere in the middle, 1500. Okay, so you want to make 600 bucks, 500 bucks, 300 bucks, and you want to do this load for what? For $1.40? And that's the reality. Well, I'm so thankful that TQL always about just to make their own money, right? TQL, one of those brokers who does kill this industry. All those mega brokers, they simply do not care. And how can we change that? Well, we can change this by unity, right? Some people talk about shutdowns. We tried that, failed 2 weeks ago, guys. If you've been watching me, I was promised that organizing, going to DC was an option. So I kind of was lied to. I put all my effort. Now we're trying to do it in a different manner. So that's why if you see that little in a corner, you see that we are sending 10,000 trucks to DC. Are we actually sending the drivers there? No, because first, to get 10,000 trucks united at this point, it's impossible mission, right? So what do we do? Look at me. I'm going to be packing those cute trucks today. So most of you who is watching me, please be on this mission. First, it's positive, right? Look how cute the truck is. I got different trucks, and those are toy trucks. Look, first, comes from your heart because this is gonna go to toys and tots. It's gonna go to the kids for the military families and other unfortunate families who cannot afford toys for the holidays. Look at this one. I love this one. And I have a bunch more in front. You have to make sure that you cover them with a clear plastic. And what are we going to do? We're going to send them to Department of Transportation. I'm going to put a link actually for the address, but you can simply just Google Department of Transportation DC. I think it's 1200. I will do it in a second when I put a little break. And you're going to send it there. And you know what you do? You take a note, pad, and you write your message. What do you want to change? Let's say, Ryan, what would you change? Let's say, Pam, what would you change about trucking? Let's ask Vitali, what would he change about trucking industry? What can be done? What can be improved? How can we get attention back from our own Department of Transportation? How can we have possibility to bring this to news? How can we organize this process that our government start listening to us? How can we do something that TQL is not laughing in our face? Oh, please just do this load for $950. And the saddest part is that somebody will still take that load for $950 at $1.40. And they will be sitting there complaining that trucking is impossible to survive. They're going to be sitting there and saying that brokers are garbage. They're going to say that, oh my God, too many immigrants come to trucking. They're going to say, oh, that's because of Alex, because she is rude dispatcher and she's direct, right? People going to complain, but complaints don't change anything, right? Complaints do not win the wars. What does? Unity. So, again and again and again, in the last 2 years, you guys been watching me. The same mission has to happen. And unfortunately, I wish I would be a superstar. I wish I would have those magical powers to change trucking for better, you know? But we need support from each other. We need to make sure that we get united so something can be changed. My message for the new dispatchers: don't get upset because brokers will talk to you like this. Stick to your grounds. Understand that this is already nonsense, right? Make sure you still try your best. Connecting loads. Make sure you team up with your drivers. Drivers under the stress right now. Drivers, a lot of them not making profits. drivers will be losing their brand new companies. They will be giving those trucks away. So, as a dispatchers, we need to understand people under the stress sometimes will act rudely towards you. Don't take it personally. You, as a dispatcher, have to make sure you talk to your driver, you calm the driver, and you just simply find solution together. Look at the market, make sure maybe you switching where you guys going, what you're gonna be booking, and next time remember, Alex, even with my experience, I trusted the receiver, I trusted the broker, and what did I got? I got the slap on the hand again. I got punished, my driver got punished. So next time around holidays, make sure that your driver goes home. Make sure that you do not trust that Friday facility is going to be open, Saturdays they're going to be open, right? Make sure that it's a longer transit, or make sure that your driver simply goes home. Oh, Circle Logistics. Hello? 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 Well, I see it's Circle Logistics. Well, is that a miracle? Is miracle happening? Well, they hang up on me. Can you believe if right now we would have the news that we're getting unloaded? Ooh, wow. This load already canceled. The second load is canceled. So here's the thing. We're gonna get punished again if the miracle happen. I really want to make sure what's going on. Let me just check the email for this carrier really fast. So I'll just send you a little break. Guys, I guess I just checked my email. So this Edgar Alfonso, he's just trying to call me because he's gonna try his best to push layover for $175. Really? Okay, at least he's gonna try. 175, it's not what we need. Well, need to start making brokers give rate confirmation, but they don't, and then hang out or don't give you load and put us in 411, but we cannot do hunting to them for line and double brokering. So let's talk about 411, third party who organize all this. So what stops us as a carriers to also have something like this, right? Dispatch. Uh, which company is it? Who are you calling from? Oh, okay. Okay, I'll call you back. Um, update on the load, which I have to. I mean, we're doing live. I have to. I'll call him back. So, we need to start putting them for line and double brokering. So again, unity, right? We need to make sure. We need to make sure. Oh, Circle Logistics. Hello. Hello. Well, are we playing phone tag? Is Colombia is not connecting to USA today? What's going on? Well, let's go back. Hi, Alex. Hi, how are you, Jerry? Missed you. Hopefully to see you in this lives more often. Haha, I'm great. Thank you. Loved yesterday live stream. Well, thank you so much. Hey, Alex, this is Larsini. Hi. Um, have you started your mentorship program? No, you guys gonna all receive the news next week. Okay. For me, will be something like those 400 per day loss, as you mentioned. I always try to tell my dispatch team to always be fair on that situation, like Circle Logistics, and also make customer pay for all the trouble. Yeah, 400 a day, I can agree to that if it's a dry van. If that somebody's not sitting there with minus 10 degrees, so 400 would be the great layover, right? Not compensating us fully, but at least fair enough. So this is unfortunately we cannot see the names from Facebook users because you're not watching us on YouTube stream. So whoever this lady is, she's in accounting. So she said she asked what would be fair. So in this case, I do agree with you. Okay. Penny, I drive team with my husband, but these brokers are the worst. Yes, they lie. We are sent to places to pick up loads only to get there, and the receiver does not know anything about the load only to get. So here again, Penny, you still have to do that step before you start driving. You need to call and verify. See, I did it on Tuesday, right? At least I call and they simply lied. But I think you know what's really happened today? I think it was supposed to be the guy who probably had to come, show up there and unload those trucks. But yesterday was holiday, right? People had extra beers, people had extra alcohol, people maybe got food poisoning or something, and and he just simply did not show up. So because I did talk to the receiver, if it would be just a Circle Logistics telling me that now facilities closed, well, that would be me failing as a dispatcher. I did talk to the guy on Tuesday verifying hours, and he reinforced me. That's why we had our truck and other 3 trucks delivering there today. And I think it's just a matter that one person did not show up today. But still, does it make us feel better? Don't we have to deal with a nightmare? Don't we have to compensate all this? Don't we have to solve the problem? Don't we have to cancel? But it's not fair. For you, Penny, I want to make sure you do this. Every time you still have to call. Stop, guys, did heading. Call, verify. Is the load gonna go? If pickup's gonna be ready, PO's number, does it match? Because this is another mistakes that new dispatchers and people who is in industry doing for while. We simply cannot afford to keep driving. That's why eliminating deadheads is crucial now. You have to deliver your load and pick up almost in the same facility so your rate per mile goes up. How do you gonna do that? Simply asking, what is do you have any backhaul? Simply going and pre-booking right there, knowing your shippers and receivers. If you guys gonna use my advice, you will be better dispatcher than the rest, right? Double brokering. Yes, double brokering. This is another thing, right? So people book on their MC. They also have MC from the brokerage. They book the load for $950 from TQL. Hopefully by 11, they're gonna post the same one 2 hours later or the same day, and they still gonna find somebody who's gonna take that load for $750 because again, I never can understand this. People tell me, why can we go on strike? Why can we just boycott TQL or other brokers? People cannot afford not to drive. Guys, reality is you actually cannot afford to drive with these rates. You're not really staying in business. Please think one more time. You cannot afford to drive and take this cheap freight. If all of us stop for 1 week, nobody's gonna go broke. Some of you gonna benefit. But if for 1 week, TQL is not gonna make their profits, the receivers, resale, retail, Walmarts, Costco's, Aldi's, all of the stores are not going to make their profits, something can be changed. Only 1 week. We're not asking you to stop driving for 6 months. 1 week. 1 week would be so crucial. But again, can I do it by myself? No, I cannot. Do we have to do it at the same time? Do we have to pick the day and say, well, December 15th, December 15th, right before Christmas, the whole country, every trucking company, at least not mega, but majority of the small businesses, you can shut down. You don't have the contracts, and we still the big numbers because the small companies actually is there, right? You know, the statistics says that most of the companies are small companies. And what do we consider the small company? It's from 1 to 5 trucks. We have millions of carriers who have only 1 to 5 trucks. You cannot shut down for 1 week? Definitely you can. Definitely you can. So, but again, preaching, talking about this is not gonna do anything. So, unity is a must. Okay. In touch with our dispatcher, and he cannot get in touch with the broker anymore, leaving us to wait for another load. Well, do you have the confirmation for who is a broker? I mean, who is a shipper, who is a receiver nowadays? Well, you need to get that information from your dispatcher, because if dispatchers do not want to do their extra phone call, if they simply don't care, well, you need to start taking care of yourself. Agreed. And the round table. What else we have? Love what you do. We definitely need discussion. We need to be able to report these brokers like they report carriers, right? FMCSA does not hold brokers to the same standards, regulations, like carriers. Yes, I agree with this. It has to be changed. But the thing is, they're third party PL. So they are actually not on the road. That's why regulations are harsher on us, because we are in charge of those commercial trucks on the road, right? We dealing with the public. That's why regulations sometimes don't make any sense, because a lot of times what happened, people who make those regulations, they've never been in a truck, they never been a drivers. But again, how many regulations don't make sense, and what is done about this? Even the hours of service, did we ever start fighting for the rights to change something? No, we didn't. We just complain, 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 complain. Again, complaining, it's a waste of time. Talking about this, just talking, it's a waste of time. We need organizations which can put people together. And sometimes people say, well, oh, you want to create another organization because it's going to be membership and you want us to pay $100, $200. Well, guys, it takes money to do projects like this, to even go and put strike together, or maybe send people, lawyers, to see what has to be done on a legal level. It takes money, unfortunately. But here it is. Most of you gonna be complaining about what? About becoming a member, let's say, to for a new organization which just started this year, Northern American Driver Resource Association. You guys seen my life with the guys, and I sincerely do believe in positivity. Most of those guys are become with a military background, right? So they know how the things have to be done. They are tired of this, and I do like the positive approach. But again, we need money for this. So you complaining that, oh my God, you will need to give maybe $100 a month, but you are willing to go out of business. You are willing to take this nonsense and you losing thousands of dollars. Unfortunately, it's not a matter of membership, as long as it's going to be transparency, as long as every cent is going to be accounted for, as long that we're going to see real efforts and platform and actually see missions and programs. Then this $100 or whatever the money is going to be, I don't think it's going to be more than $100 or 150. I don't even know yet. It's nothing compared what we can change. And this is a bigger picture. When people say that, we go back to that, I don't care about everybody else, it's just me, my truck. Oh my God, I'm lucky today. I got $100 more from TQL. Oh my God, I have dedicated lane who now cut the rates anyway for you, right? I am such a good person. Okay, you made it good this month. Maybe you're gonna do good next 2 weeks. But in general, industry is going by market. Nobody's gonna pay me just because, oh my God, I have 5 stars in my forehead, extra money. No, they're gonna go by the market. They're gonna go by the supply and demand. They don't really care about regulations. So missions have to be supported by people, right? People can change things. Unity can win, and we already have seen it so many times on everywhere in the planet, in the wars, in political revolutions, in the way the countries sometimes change the way they operate, whatever. Freedom was won by people, right? All the rights are always by people. Unity, people. We have the voice. So, can we hear your voice, each of you? But hearing the voice is not enough. Has to be action. And unfortunately, right now, we live in time where we also have to have finances to do it legally, right? So, are you going to get united? Are you going to support any of the missions? Or are you going to be still sitting there and complaining? Well, if you're a complainer, then sorry, keep complaining, right? Okay. This is the only industry where fuel doubles, rates decline by double, and yet the shippers are paying the same to brokers. FMCSA is a joke. Okay, agree, agree. We are doing that as well, going into our pockets to make the loads, and the brokers feel just like that. Well, don't go to your pockets because then you're not a smart business person, right? If you need to add money to run the charity business, sometimes, guys, and don't take it offensively, but maybe it's time to give up trucking for now. Maybe it's time to go and be a company driver for those mega brokers and mega carriers, right? You know, the ones who have their own trucks. I don't know how they afford it, but sometimes you still have to combine reality, your own business decision, and know what's good for you. And that's why I say the 1 week of not taking loads will not hurt any of you. For 60%, you actually gonna save money that week by not driving. Okay? So, hello, hello. TQL gets aggressive when you demand a fair rate. Well, yes, of course. Of course, they get aggressive. And that's why I do and record all of these answers and everything else, because it's not me being direct and rude, but it's me tired of that nonsense, right? Okay, great job. Wow, what a greedy company. Glad to catch you live. Thank you. They should be ashamed. ELD rules are nonsense. Again, let's go to hours of service. 10 hours sleep, 34 hours restart. Right now we have inflation, economy went down. How many people have 2, 3 jobs nowadays? You know what? My son, and he's in high school, he works as a part-time, he needs to make his own money at Menards. And yesterday we were sitting after Thanksgiving dinner and he was telling me, Mom, I feel so bad. I have some people who have to work 70, 80 hours a week in Menards and other jobs. And he's like, Mom, why is this? And I'm like, well, because first of all, we have a lot of jobs. You cannot right now survive on just one job with 15, 16, 17 bucks per hour. You cannot. Rents went up, mortgages went up, housing prices went up, food. Look at the food, guys. I was shocked. I had to buy and guys, don't worry. I mean, I can afford. I work hard. I am fortunate. I am blessed to be able to afford food, housing, vacations. I am blessed. But how many people are not blessed? I went to buy a ham, $55 for the ham. It's like, really? Okay. So for dinner for me, 2 kids, and one of my friend, it was like $300 to put the Thanksgiving dinner. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. So how can this be changed? Well, again, people, voices, actions, and sticking to the mission, right? Nobody, nobody outsmarts Alex. This should be a comedy show. Okay, yeah, I am a stand-up comedian here. See, I'm here to entertain you. Okay, hopefully you mean it in a positive way, not being a negative person on my channel, right? Okay, Alex, we need you in Washington, D.C. Yes, I would. You know what? That's why I'm so glad that I found those guys, and I really hope that we're gonna do something differently. And I will join their mission, but also I'm thinking what can be done differently. So I am thinking, guys, I'm brainstorming, I'm talking to people, and maybe especially empowering everybody in trucking, but also empowering women. Maybe we have to get united with all the other organization. That's another thing. Just make another organization sometimes doesn't make a thing. Maybe we need to talk about getting united as a one organization, right? We have ONEDA, we have Women Trucking Association, we have other associations. So maybe, and I think it would be the smartest the way I look at this, because they already have some kind of support. They already know, but we can have get together. Maybe it has to be combination of those association, and it's something combined has to be done. But yes, Ryan, I'm ready to go to Washington DC. You know me. If I had to go and fly to moon to change trucking for better, I probably would do that for sure. Unity is a key. Um Alex, where are you out of? Well, I am Ukrainian, right? See, I just changed that. I stand with Ukraine. I was born and raised in Ukraine. Most of you guys know that. See, I just changed that little corner, stand with Ukraine. So I've been here for 23 years, and I've been in trucking since 2013. I'm also insurance agent. I work with the RTS. I just love trucking, and I just really think that it's unfair for carriers and drivers and dispatchers and safety management, because it has to be treated as a business. My biggest problem was with trucking uneducated carriers, uneducated dispatchers, because missions are good, people are good, but it has to be strong foundation. So that's why I start teaching classes, and you can see probably lots of my videos. People ask me, Alex, why you put all those information for free? Because if you really watch bunch of them, you're gonna learn a lot, right? Of course you're gonna get tired of my voice and background. Sometimes it can get addicted, right? I become like a member of some families. They say, oh, the kids listening to you, my husband's listening to you, I am listening to you. So as long as you guys get positivity, as long as you guys learn something, I'm proud to be part of this industry. I just simply want to change this industry for better. I think it has to be fair. We can all make money, we can all support each other, we can get better, we can build the new way of representing our carriers, our drivers. We can change their life on the road to be easier, because it's a very stressful job. So I'm from Ukraine, proud to be Ukrainian, and Slava Ukraini, Героям Slava. Okay, in this industry had more dispatches like you, we wouldn't be as bad as today. This is large brokerage companies invest millions in training and education to make sure they keep the big profit. Well, I can tell you this, I wish they would actually put those millions in training their employees. Most of the bigger brokerage, they're regular brokers or person who you talk on the phone, because remember, they have teams, sale teams. So yes, people who go and talk to shippers get those contracts. Well, people have a good sales experience. People need to make sure that it's going to be profitable for them, because that's why they receive the money, right? It's their job to make sure to secure the loads, then make sure that TQL makes money. But then we have this gap. And then we have these younger kids nowadays who work there in TQL, and they simply don't even know the transit. They don't know the equipment. They don't understand the difference between, oh, does it make a big deal if it's a plated trailer or wooden floors, right? So I wish they would really educate, especially in hours of service, especially in what does it take to drive, through, let's say, Chicago at 5 p.m. You don't look just on Google Maps, right? the reality of loading, unloading, PTIs, how long does it take for driver, how it's important that to understand that yes, when you telling me it's 30,000, but then I come and my truck is pushed to 45 and a half, well, maybe he cannot even scale that. But they say, well, you agree to this load. Well, why? Because you simply lied to me. When they don't want to disclose shippers and receivers because they pretend that we're gonna steal their load, how can I steal that load, right? I need to know my shipper and receiver because I go on a Google, I already know some of them by heart, and I know where not to go or where to go. If this receiver, let's say, takes or shipper 5 6 hours, at least I'm realistic with the next load. That's why I need that knowledge, right? Not because I want to sit and blah, blah, blah talk. My time is valuable. So when I have to double check if it's going to be palletized, floor loaded, because I really want to make sure that it is going to be palletized. When I'm asking you if the product is ready, why I'm asking that? Well, because I want to make sure we have enough time to deliver this, right? When I am asking you if there are going to be any driver assist, well, I'm not just asking you just to talk to you because I know my driver is not going to do that or because it has to be compensated. When I am telling you that my driver does not tarp, well, that means I cannot make him to go and tarp because if he's not willing to tarp, I will not be booking this load. That's why I need the details, right? So I am doing my job as a dispatcher. You doing your job as a broker, but there is a big disconnect. Big disconnect because big brokerages they can afford the first shift, the second shift, their weekend shift, and this is bunch of people on the same load. You book with a one broker who has a sales on the top of him. Then you have five people who is calling you to get update. Then you have somebody who is at night, somebody who is on weekend or holiday shift. And what's happening? People simply do not do their job. No notes. So what? They keep bothering your drivers, or simply they don't know how to solve the problem because he's only part-time guy who works at night on the holidays. Do you really think that he cares? Do you really think that he worries that your driver is sitting somewhere in South Dakota? No, he doesn't. He just wants to simply tell you, we'll get back to you, hopefully in a nice manner. A lot of times, like, okay, just wait till Monday when the broker who is in charge are going to be done with his holiday break, right? And this is fair? No, it's not fair. Well, who else? Glory to Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine. Дякуємо за вашу роботу, корисні поради. Okay. You are right, Alex. Okay. The financial education of our owner operator is so critical and poorly planned without emergency funds and plan B, C. They cannot stop to demonstrate in protest, but they can go on vaccinations 3 times a year. Well, let's not bring the vaccinations, let's not bring other stuff, but I can tell you this. I do agree that most of the owner operators do not understand their operational cost. Most of the owner operators are suffering right now because when they made all this money the last year, prior year, when the market was unusually high. And why was it unusually high? Due to unusual COVID situation, right? COVID changed this planet drastically. So that's why it was something unusual. Everybody jumped to trucking. The smart people who understand that things go up and down, the market switches. Doesn't matter if it's a trucking, real estate, finances, whatever, we do have cycles. People have accounts, maintenance accounts, breakdown accounts, right? So they put money away right away. How many people actually do have basic foundation for their own finances? Do you put money aside? How much do you do? Do you put at least 10% from whatever you're making aside for future, for emergencies? The reality is this: America is a beautiful country. America is a land of opportunity. But we have very rich people. We have probably 5%. We have a middle class, which is going to be shifting now because of inflation, a lot of people losing money. But then we also have people who never been taught how to budget, how to do finances. How many people in America do not have at least 6 months of their living expenses? And simply why? Well, because simply you're gonna go and get an extra dining. You're gonna get another car which you don't need. You're gonna go and buy the furniture because it's a 0%, because they given it to you, another TV, and then the bills come, right? Simple financial budgeting, the basics, understanding, it's a must, not just in trucking. Okay, so that's why we're educating. That's why you need to know what to do. That's why some people should never come to trucking and still be just a company driver, still be just the owner operator for other company. Because first you need to learn how to run the business, how to calculate, how to predict, how to manage situation like this, right? So you're not gonna end up going bankrupt. Um, and that's what we do, guys. In December, I think what we have, December 11th, we have webinar how to open trucking company. And if you're ready for this, so please make sure sign up, because you're gonna save thousands of dollars. Don't do this mistake. Don't jump or get out of the business without understanding how to do it correctly. Okay, so let let me see a few other questions and we guys gonna be done. Hopefully this is not plan. Okay, FMCSA should determine minimum rate 225 at least. Okay, FMCSA cannot determine 225. Why? Because we in America, this is independent companies. So TQL independent company, I am as a carrier independent company, Walmart is independent. So if FMCSA or government is gonna be dictate what has to be done, what's gonna happen? Well, we're gonna go back to what? Soviet Union, we're gonna go back to dictatorship like in Cuba, China, or Venezuela, right? So no, nobody can dictate, because this is a fair business, it's a market. But what it has to be done, it has to be transparency. It has to be the fuel surcharge has to be given for those drivers. It has to be passed to the carriers. Yes, fuel went up. So surcharge right now is 75 cents, right? So most of the shippers and buyers, they do give it. It is in a contract. They give it to the brokers, but we don't see it. So that's why transparency is a must, right? Government cannot control. Well, Alex, let's think about this. Does FMCSA can control and say, Alex, you cannot charge more than $100 for your classes because that's what we want? Can they control me? No. This is my business. This is my knowledge. As long as I don't do nothing illegal, nobody can tell me, can I charge for my classes, not charge? Do I want to do it for free? Same for you. Can anybody tell, well, this what has to happen? You have to work for 10 hours and FMCSA only gonna pay you $12. Guys, no, this is backwards. So let's be logical, right? We are all intelligent people here. So let's understand that that's not a solution, okay? I bet you could be a lot of fun. Okay. Alex, are you single? I will marry you. Yes, Alex is single, not looking for getting remarried, right? I am here on a mission to change trucking for better. Okay. if you if you go jump to Washington, I'll be there first, Alex. But sending toys, we have to hit strong all together, and the government has to feel it. As we let the days go by, thousands of owner operators disappear. Yes, and I think because now I know. So, um, can you put um, can you put your name? Is this you, Lebron? Is it you? Is this you? Because now I think that's how you show up on my screen, with just J. I don't know. Just make sure. Do I agree with this? Well, I agree with positivity. I agree with people trying to do something, right? It's better than just sit and complain. Do I truly believe that sending toys is gonna change? No, but this is something different. Plus, we do have a um positive message behind this, right? Because those toys are gonna go to kids in need. So this is already positive thing to do, right? So will it change the trucking? Well, hopefully we're gonna get some coverage on news. Hopefully people gonna start talking about this, right? I do believe that we, personally me, I do believe that we should not to take the loads, all of us, for 1 week. 1 day is not gonna do anything. 2 days, not enough. 3 days, maybe. 7 days, I think this is a perfect number. But the problem is, and I would love for everybody to be on the same page. But we just have the proof. Trucking is not united. You guys do not want to come together because everybody is simply selfish. You afraid that, oh my God, and I know what's going to happen. Let's even predict that Midwest shutdown. Let's say that everybody's on Midwest, companies agreed. What's going to happen? It's always going to be that guy because market is going to pay for that 2 days, 3 days is going to pay 50 cents more. They're still going to say, oh, it's okay. I'm going to go to pick up, right? Look at the fail that we had 2 weeks ago when those guys told me, oh my God, we have 400 trucks. We're going to have 2,000 trucks, right? That was a joke. The joke that I fell for, and I feel bad because for in my head I thought, okay, we have 400 trucks. I go on YouTube, I go on TikTok. Other people who are in trucking, you know, that other guy, he has a big uh followers, trucker, Mazda trucker or whatever guy, right? Asian, whatever show he also jumped to it because people were tagging him from my TikTok. He did the live. He took his time on Saturday making sure that we spread out. Did not happen. Food trucks. But then also people who ask me because I did not even see it. So somebody forwarded to me. And this person also has trucks right there in Pennsylvania, right? So when all this failed, I asked, okay, but you're right there. Some people were leaving Chicago to go there because they trust in the mission. They want to follow me. They trust me. They want to change trucking. So you telling me to go do this show and your own trucks did not even go. Oh, because you know I have the drivers. They still have to drive. So this is the reality. So the reality of this that we want somebody else to do it. We want somebody else to stop driving, but most of you millions are still going to be driving. The reality of this, you're going to be complaining about TQL, you're going to complain about everybody else, but you don't want to speak up. You don't want to put the names. You don't want to sit like me, right? Kind of talking about this, right? And having so much negative responses, but I'm okay. I'm a big girl. I can handle it. So this is a difference. Doing it and just watching aside. And until that's changed, trucking will suffer. So we guys gonna end on this note. Unity is the key. Getting together is a key. Being on the same page is a key. Trucking is not gonna change for better in the next 6 months to a year. How many of you can afford not to be on the road? How many of you gonna be able to find that job? So listen, let's say 500,000 drivers quit because it doesn't make sense to be on the road, right? You're losing money. You need to make money. Do you think that the jobs they're gonna be able to find? What's gonna happen? Now we have extra people who looking for jobs. It's gonna be no jobs. As an owner operator, you cannot go on unemployment, right? Because you have a job. If you're not making profit, it's up to you. You decided to be a small business owner, so no unemployment benefits. So how long is it gonna take for every driver out there just to sit and just think about him, about only his truck, about only his MC? How many? How many days, months, and years? I don't know, guys. It's all up to you. It's all in your hands. But I'm here to spread the word. to do and make sure whatever I can do, even with the trucks. Guys, I do it not because I want to have subject for the show. I do it because I do believe in changing. I do believe in action. Words without action is nothing. So let's get active. Let's get united. Let's stop putting each other out in a negative way. Let's empower women. Let's empower our truck drivers. Let's get educated. Let's finally do something about it. And here I am, Alex. You're a sassy dispatcher, right? You're a sassy instructor. And that Ukrainian direct girl who is willing and is going to change trucking for better.